I just wanted to hit on one point today. I've had a few clients this week, as well as an old friend back in California, where the topic of the conversation has been this notion of giving, giving, giving. And these particular clients and this old friend in California are people who give a lot in their lives, and they've spent their lives giving and taking care of others and worrying about others and giving and giving and giving. And one of the things they struggle with is when they become depleted and feel like they're giving so much, too much perhaps. And it's really a struggle for someone who spends their whole life giving or spends so much energy taking care of others and doing for others. It's difficult for them to consider pulling back when they feel their energy beginning to be depleted. It's hard to think about that conversation of saying to an aging parent, or saying to a friend, or saying to your own child, or saying to someone, I need room. Of creating a boundary, of not just creating a boundary for that person regarding you, but really in your own self saying, I need a boundary. Because very often people who give and give and give and give think it's not okay to have a boundary. It's not okay to say that's enough, or I can't do anymore. It just doesn't feel right. It's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't want to give. It just doesn't feel good to keep giving and giving and giving because I feel like I'm depleted. And one of the things two of the things that I help my clients see or friends see is that the underlying message when I'm giving and giving and giving and giving and not creating boundaries or not taking time to rejuvenate myself, the underlying message is that I don't matter. And it's not a message that person is sending to me. It's the message I'm putting out there in the world. If I keep giving and I don't take care of myself, I'm the one giving the message that I don't matter. See, in my work, as a counselor in New York City and my years as a pastor and so forth, I've had to be very, very conscious of my own energy. I've had to be very, very conscious of my own boundaries so that I don't deplete my energy. I have a brother who's been working in cancer care hospice, social work for 30 years. He's very deliberate about taking care of his own energy because when you're a giver or when you're in a caring profession, or teacher, I have a very dear friend who's a teacher, it's very easy to give more than you have or to give so much that you burn out. And so what it really requires, this notion of having a boundary, what it really requires is a change in your belief system. At the bedrock of who you are, it requires believing that who I am actually fucking matters and that my energy matters. And it's not that I have to be mean or want to be mean to someone else. And I certainly don't want to hurt someone else's feelings, but I matter. And I have to protect my boundaries just for my own joy and my own energy level. And so people ask me, but Sven, how do you do it? What are the mechanics of setting up a boundary or saying to someone, I can't do that. I can't keep giving. I had to say it once to a dear friend of mine who is a priest, and we had gone through seminary together, and he used to say that he saw me as his spiritual director, even back then, 25 years ago, whatever. And I had to have a conversation with him where I said to him, I'll just call him Steve. Steve, I'm the one asking all the questions. You never ask any questions of me. I don't feel like this is a friendship. I feel like, and I love you, man, but I feel like you're taking more than you're giving. And it was very uncomfortable, and I was afraid of hurting his feelings. And to his credit, it stung a little bit, he said that, but to his credit, he said, you know what, Sven, you're right. And I want a more equanimity in our relationship. And one of the great spiritual truths from a few different religious traditions is this notion of being able to speak the truth in love. In a context of love, where someone knows I love them, it's much easier for the truth to be received. And the truth is, I have a boundary. The truth is, I need some space. The truth is, I'm giving too much, or I need some time alone. Whatever the truth is that you're afraid to speak, if it's in the context of love, if you've been conveying love, and if I say to the person, listen, I love you, man, but I need this. If the truth is conveyed in love, it will be received well. And if it's not received well, and if the person doesn't see the integrity in what you're doing, then you know you are dealing with someone who just wants to take. But if it's truly someone who loves you as much as you love them, they'll see that you mean it in love, and they will respond accordingly. But to convey a difficult message, particularly one that says, I can't give anymore, or I need to create a boundary. Not that you can't ever come in, but I just have to be more selective in how much you come in or how much I give. In order for that to work, if it's conveyed in love, I love you, but I need this. If that is done, you have a far higher chance of success, because it'll be received as a loving act, loving on you, but also loving on myself. And every person has a right to take care of their own energy needs and their own needs to love on themselves. So my question to you today is, who are you afraid to speak a difficult word to? What is the hard thing that you need to say or do right now in your life? What is the boundary you need to erect in your life? And do you have the courage to do it in a context of love? To say the words of I love you, but I also need my boundary. I think you can do it. So I hope you have a kick-ass day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.